Hey guys, Owen here with Seek Outside. We're gonna go over how to install your 8.5 screen room in your 8-person teepee tent. All right, so we're gonna go over how to set up this 8.5 screen room in this 8-person teepee we have set up right here. I'm gonna have Ryan, my helper, help me out here. So let's get to it. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open up this bag and get our nest out. The nest is going to be a half circle shape. So let's get this out. And this nest is going to be a half circle shape. So one edge is going to be completely straight. So if we go down here, what Ryan will be able to show you, it'll also have a zipper on this straight side. So as you can see here, we have the zipper. And when we pull this out, it's going to be completely straight, as you can see. So now what you want to do is you want to dictate which side of the shelter you want to put it on. I would say most people, if they want to use the stove, will put it on the side without the stove jack, or else you'll not be able to use your stove in here. So what we'll go ahead and do is we'll go ahead and show you the stakeout points here in 2 seconds. So there's a few methods that you can use when you're staking this out. You can either use stakes or you can use some cordage. It depends on if you want to leave the nest inside the teepee or if you want to just set it up in and out of the shelter. So what I recommend people do is take a little bit of atwood here. I have some rope in the pocket. Cut a little piece and tie it off. I'll show you guys how to do that in a second. But first we're going to get our initial stakeouts done. So what I will do is I'll take a stake here. I'll also give a few to my helper, Ryan, here. And so I will get a stake. And on our straight edge, we're gonna go ahead and find that corner. The corner is gonna have a seam here. And what we're gonna do, we'll go ahead and take our stake, we'll walk it across the tent, and we'll find our zipper. And we're gonna stake it right here at the zipper. Put that in, get that in there nice and good. And then what Ryan is gonna do over here, as you can see, he's gonna pull that out and he's gonna find his edge as well. Leave a little bit of slack there. And we'll just go ahead and put that in right there. So if you want to go ahead and leave the nest inside the shelter so that you can set it up on the fly a little bit quicker than just individually staking it out, what I'll do is I'll take some cordage, I'll cut myself a nice piece, let's say a foot long. Let's go ahead, cut it here. And what I will do is I will go ahead and I will find 3 spots in the shelter. You can do more if you'd like. But for example, what I'll do here is I'm gonna go and find the center stakeout point. Pull this out, find the center stakeout point. I'm gonna tie to here. It doesn't have to be tight. Just put a pretty simple knot here. Okay, and then we're gonna tie it to a stakeout loop. So we'll come in here, and I'll just tie it to one of the interior stakeout points. So now we're gonna go ahead, pull this out, as you can see, and we're just gonna go ahead and tie it here. This is just gonna keep the nest ready for the next time you come to stake this out. So I'll go ahead and do this right here. You see we have some slack, but it's gonna keep it inside the shelter for further use. From here, it's a great idea to start staking this out. So once you have maybe your 3 pieces of cordage that you want to put in, if you want to leave it inside the shelter, or if not, I like to start on one side after we've gotten our straight line out, and then I'll just go around the whole entire tent. You have the option to stake this out, get here, every other stakeout loop or every single stakeout loop. For this use, I'll go ahead and put it on every other stakeout loop, because it's the quickest method. So now you can see we've staked out every other stakeout point on this, and we have a nice half circle. Our next order of business is going to be getting the top of this nest staked out to the top. So you have 2 options. I think the easiest option that I've found is running it inside the actual nest itself. Make sure there isn't anything too jagged under where the pole will be. Other than that, it's really simple and gives you a great pitch. So what I'll do here is I'll find the zipper, that goes to the top of this, and I will open it all up. Okay. And then what I'll be doing is I'll be taking this pole down. I'll be dropping it a few inches, so getting it a little bit shorter. I'll be putting the peak of the pole into the peak of the nest. And then I will be putting the pole back into the peak of the shelter. If you want to end up leaving this inside your shelter, what you can do is you can tie these off to these loops up here. These loops are designed for hanging stuff in the top of your teepee, but what you can do is you can just put it up there. Another option is to take some cordage, tie it off, and use a prusik knot at the top of the pole. That's a really easy method. Doesn't have to, take down the pole and everything, but I find this is the easiest and you get the best pitch. So now we'll be dropping the pole. So I'll go here, find the adjuster, kind of bring this out, bring it down to the lowest mark to make it easiest for myself. I'm then gonna go ahead, you'll see you'll have this access here by the zipper. Open it up, hold up the teepee, insert this into that cone, insert it back into the cone, and then I'm just gonna put this inside this half nest here, and then simply begin to get some more tension out. Cut. So now that we have the pole in here, and we have a pretty ideal pitch here in our half nest, as you can see, this is one of the roomiest half nests we make. Actually is the roomiest nest we make. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and bring down this zipper, seal this off so no critters get in there. And then your final steps here, and again, this is optional. You can just go ahead and stake this area out, get that bathtub floor like that, and get this super tight and have enough room for a family to stay in. And there you go. And you'll do the same thing on the other side. Yep. All right, so you hear it echo off the stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so as you can see right here, the nest and the stove are a little bit too close right now. I wouldn't be comfortable with this, probably melt your nest, and that's something you don't want to do out in the woods. So what I do, if I'm trying to use my nest and the stove together, is I offset this. So as you can see, the pipe can be at quite a bit more of an angle, right? So you can get here and kind of make sure your damper's in there good. And you see how much more room you have here. So up at the top, the clearances are a little close. And so you just got to be careful, but it still allows you to have some warmth and be away from the critters and have a floor in here. All the meanwhile, still being able to use the stove, have an area to dry out and hang out. So it's as simple as that. Just go ahead and offset your stovepipe. Be cautious with it. Make sure everything's in there tight and you'll be good to roll. All right, so that, I hope, helps some people set up their 8 half screen room in their 8-person teepee. It's a really easy process, and honestly, it makes camping either in the car or in buggy conditions extremely comfortable. So I hope you guys found this helpful. Go ahead and like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and check us out on YouTube for more content like this.